Verstappen on Felipe Nasser, round the outside.
While many people might not like him, we can't deny the fact that Max is a good driver, and these are the times that he humiliated his opponents. There have been moments where Max Verstappen's actions on the racetrack have caused Formula One to shake its head in amazement. Max Verstappen versus Felipe Nasser, 2015 Belgian Grand Prix. These two rookies were meant to have a long and fruitful rivalry, but after what Max did to him at the Belgian Grand Prix, we can understand why Felipe may have quit the sport. This maneuver earned him the 2015 Best Overtake Award. It was one of Max Verstappen's finest overtakes ever.
But he's still hanging on in there, is Max Verstappen.
Max Verstappen humiliating Hamilton at Brazil Grand Prix in 2019. Sometimes you just have to love the way Max drives. One of the highlights of the Brazil Grand Prix in 2019 was when Max overtook Hamilton. Hamilton tried to regain the lead, but Max was ultimately too strong for him to handle. The race was a fantastic one as Hamilton, Leclerc and Gasly all battled for second and third place. Max Verstappen won the dramatic Brazilian Grand Prix for his 8th career victory in a race that featured a safety car and was devastating for both Ferrari drivers. The true suspense occurred in the final laps behind the Dutch driver, who had practically complete control of the race in Sao Paulo and was a deserving victor in the Interlagos circuit. Max versus Nico Rosberg, 2016 British Grand Prix. Starting in the rain, this race was an intense one. In the 14th lap, Max started to trail behind everyone's favourite F1 villain, Nico Rosberg. In the 16th lap, it became obvious that Rosberg was struggling to keep up, but Max, on the other hand, had his eyes on the prize, and even the rain couldn't stop him, ultimately finishing third in the race, with Christian Horner remarking, "That move at Beckett's, that was pretty sensational." Max Verstappen versus Daniel Ricciardo, 2017 Chinese Grand Prix. The Red Bull driver in Shanghai had an engine issue that prompted him to exit Q1 and start the race in P16, but that changed after a truly gorgeous start, which some refer to as one of the best starts in F1 history. He mastered the rainy conditions to move up 9 positions in the first lap, one of the most miraculous in the sport's history.
Sebastian Vettel did get a better start, but it's a short run down to the line, and Verstappen covers him off.
After that, he kept up his assault and by lap 8 had reached P3. His fierce competition with his teammate Daniel Ricciardo lasted for 5 laps. Ricciardo kept following him, looking for a way to beat him, but Max was too strong. In the final lap of the race, he fought off Ricciardo, who tried every possible means to perform an overtake just before the final turn. Max Verstappen didn't only humiliate Ricciardo, but he also proved his top-notch defensive capability. He finished third, coming in behind Hamilton and Vettel. Max Verstappen defends against Hamilton, 2018 United States Grand Prix. This is one race Hamilton won't forget in a hurry, as at some point he was close to winning it, before Max decided to put on an impressive comeback effort, beginning in P18, 2 spots further back than in China, finishing in P2 and humiliating a champion like Hamilton. After just 7 laps, he swiftly climbed into the top 5 with a series of faultless overtakes. He then consistently maintained the leader's pace to give himself a chance to win. He was in P2 with a few circuits to go, just behind Kimi Räikkönen, who was winning, but was obliged to defend rather than attack, since Hamilton was following closely behind him on much fresher tyres. He managed to hold off the British driver with a demonstration of defensive driving. Attacking, defending, speed and tyre management were all there in this drive. Max delivered beautifully. Max bodying Charles Leclerc, 2019 Austrian Grand Prix. After getting a front row start at the Red Bull Ring, Max was confident about his prospects of winning. He did win, but it took quite the drive. He had a bad start and dropped to P9, giving himself a mountain to climb. With just over 20 circuits remaining, with him in P4, it appeared he would fail. However, the late assault began with faultless passes on Bottas and Vettel. With only 2 circuits remaining, the Dutchman took the lead with one of his finest maneuvers, dummying to the outside before moving to the inside at the last second and squeezing through, moving past Charles Leclerc to claim his 6th victory. This was truly classic Verstappen with his fast speed and exhilarating maneuvers.
Max Verstappen moves into 2nd place.
Max humiliated Bottas, 2020 70th Anniversary Grand Prix. In the first 4 races of the 2020 season, Mercedes dominated by winning every race. In the second half of the Silverstone doubleheader, it appeared as though they would win once more, but Max had other plans. In the 70th Grand Prix, Max saw an opening and took it regardless of his team's advice to protect his tyres, putting pressure on Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas to make early pit stops. In order to re-enter directly behind Bottas on newer tyres and pass him right away, the Red Bull driver extended his stint by almost twice as long as theirs while keeping a respectable speed. Max's success has frequently been attributed to his quick driving style and exhilarating overtakes, but on that particular day at Silverstone, his expert strategy and tyre management allowed him to defeat his opponent Valtteri Bottas. Max Verstappen humiliates Bottas again, 2021 Dutch Grand Prix. As if it wasn't enough for Max to humiliate Bottas in the 70th anniversary of the Grand Prix, he went and did it again at his home Grand Prix. I can only imagine the Orange Army were ecstatic with this. Even if Verstappen's victory at his maiden home Grand Prix was not the most thrilling of all his victories, it was still one of the most spectacular. He raced past Valtteri Bottas in the 30th lap, moving from P2 to P1 while making an early inside turn to secure his lead. An F1 driver must be able to handle pressure to become truly great, and the Dutchman unequivocally demonstrated this ability there. Max versus Sergio Perez, 2022 Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Just when you think Max is done, he springs another superb display. At the Formula One World Championship in 2022, Max led teammate Sergio Perez by 21 points after Red Bull finished first and second in the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Sergio Perez was in the lead for the first 14 laps until Max pulled a stunner on him. Just at the end of lap 14, both Red Bull drivers were head-to-head, after which Max moved past him on entry into the 15th lap, once again proving his superiority. And they say F1 is a team sport, clearly not in the eyes of Max. The next clip will leave you in awe and remind you of once again why Max is regarded as one of the best and dangerous drivers in modern F1. Max Verstappen versus Sergio Perez, Round 2, 2022 Spanish F1 Grand Prix. Max Verstappen won the Spanish Grand Prix at Montmeló, taking the lead in the Formula One standings. It appears teammate Sergio Perez, who was in the lead, had an advantage over Max heading in this race and was favourable to win, but a quick overtake from Max on lap 49 changed all of that. It was a very clean overtake which proved Max's superiority in driving once again. The breathless overtake took Max from P2 to P1 and ultimately showed why he is Red Bull's #1 driver. Max versus Charles Leclerc, 2022 Miami Grand Prix. In the Florida Winter Series, where Max made his professional racing start just over 8 years prior, he made a triumphant return to the Sunshine State. He reached his objective on Sunday in Miami after 57 laps. Verstappen prevailed over Charles Leclerc Ferrari in the closing laps to win the Miami Grand Prix.
Behind us, now see Max Verstappen overtaking Nico Rosberg.
It was Verstappen's second consecutive victory, coming only a few weeks after he won the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix in Italy. Max performed an excellent overtake to move past Charles Leclerc from P2 to P1 in the final laps. He performed this maneuver by carrying out an inside turn just at the final corner to move past Leclerc. Some say that's his signature move, performing inside turns at corners. Well, there is a truth to that. Max secured his victory and once again proved himself to be the prolific driver he claims to be. And not only did he overtake Charles, but he defended excellently, leaving him in the dust. Did we miss any moments of Max's super overtakes? Comment below.